How in the world are we even gonna make this work? Black and red looks cool. Do we go with black and red? We'll do black and red then. Oi! Okay. Did I just show crack live on stream? Y'all didn't see that. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's turned into the main event, and I've been hyped for it all freaking week, dude. And that's D&D. Or as we call it on this channel, ZNDND. B-tier streamer? What the f? Anyways, so last time, on last week's episode of ZNDND, or ZND if you will, we're a young novice wizard. We were tasked by our wizard mentor to deliver a package to some client in the woods. Now, on our journey to the edge of town and into the woods, the woodlands surrounding the town, we passed a creek, and there was a baby owlbear that looked similar to this. So a little baby owlbear was drinking at the creek, right? A crick, yes, exactly. And this is, for now, this is our young novice wizard character. After we saw the owlbear, we saw an overturned cart later on in the woods, off the beaten path. And then the goblin that was rooting through the contents of this overturned cart was very nervous to see us. As we started looking for what it was looking for, the mother owlbear made its presence known. So here's what we're gonna do, chat. You're gonna take over the story from there. At the current moment in time, you are sitting on, or you're standing next to, I should say, a overturned cart with its contents strewn about. You're standing in front of the cart, and as you turn your back, you see a tree in the short distance with the goblin hiding behind it, peeking out, and also screaming because there's a mama owlbear about 10 yards away from you. Anybody in chat can take the reins on this one for a little bit. Orion edits, dude! I thought we put a whole bag of jelly beans up there. Dude, what in the world? This is the mama owlbear, okay? This is what we're currently face to face with. So that's the mama owlbear, and this is the little goblin. And this is how big we are. Kind of cool, huh? But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. And that's a big beef. She a big girl. She a big girl, and she wants our butts. Where are we putting the jelly beans?
Seems like you already know where.
Do we have to? Let's roll for jelly beans, huh? What do we say we roll? Bet. Let's roll for jelly beans. That is a 4. So you don't have jelly beans. You have a small bag of, no jelly beans. While you were looking in your pouch and equipment, the owlbear starts creeping closer. But you have the tree and the goblin still between you and the owlbear. You can't really even see what the is going on. So we'll say owlbear's here, goblin's here, with his attention on the owlbear, and you're like right there. And we'll also say, something I do have, that there is a tree sitting right here. So that's the current setup of what's going on. Starting a goblin whistle. We'll roll for whistle. Our whistle ability. Oh, we're not rolling good tonight, chat. We got a 1 on that. So tell us how you critically failed that goblin whistle. Pissed both of them off. Yeah, so you've managed to try a goblin whistle, and not only did you personally offend the goblin for being a little bit racially insensitive, but also the owlbear's attention, he like peeks across the tree, like around the tree, and looks at you like, what the did you just say? So now both of their attention is on you. So we'll just go ahead and rotate this guy around. We'll say this guy is no longer hiding behind the tree or obstructed by the tree. You might be cooked. Episode 2, the campaign's over. All right, we'll say the owlbear is now up to the tree. Quickly grab the baby owlbear. Let's roll for kidnapping ability. What are you grabbing the owlbear for? Because you can't just grab it and like put him in your inventory. Like you're gonna be stuck with an owlbear in your hands. Leverage. You rolled a 9. Or is that a 9? That's a 6. You rolled a 6. You've somehow, for some reason, dashed past the mama owlbear, and now you're trying to wrangle up this baby owlbear. It's not really that it's heavy, but it's more so it's just awkward, and like legs are kind of flapping everywhere, wings are flapping a little bit. It's like struggling. It definitely comes back to the ground, and we'll say that it like steps on your toe, and you're a little bit injured. And the goblin is trying to use this as a reason to run away. So now it's on the opposite side of the tree, running into the forest a little bit deeper. The baby owlbear is also trying to run back to its mom. And you're running in straight to combat, huh? Or we're just moving to combat. So you're trying to get an advantageous position? Run after the dude? Running after the goblin? Okay. So we're chasing after the goblin and maybe moving to get into a better position. That's a good roll. Let's see. Can we flip this around so chat can see it? Got a 19 on that one. All right, Pacifica. You were able to sprint and catch up to the goblin and also get yourself into a little bit better advantage position-wise for combat. You run up behind the goblin and you like outstretch your hand and you grab it by like the collar or like the base of the hood, and you kind of yank it back, and it's like doing that cartoon thing where it's kind of running in the air or whatever. Throw goblin at the baby? What is your beef with this owlbear baby, dude? He owes me about Tree Fitty. This chat is definitely not as animal friendly as the last chat was. I'm gonna grab him and throw him towards the baby and run away from the scene. Oh, so okay, so try to create a diversion. Let's roll for that. And you're throwing a whole goblin. So we're throwing the whole goblin away. What is that? That's a 14. You managed to kind of grab the goblin still. You have it hanging there. And you turn towards the owlbear and its mom. And you like kind of reach your arm back as hard as you can and you throw him. So as he hits the ground, I want to add my advantage. Oh yeah, you were in the more advantageous spot. We'll say you stepped on a rock or something up onto a ledge and you were in a better position to grab this goblin, right? And you threw him from an even higher height and he flies through the air. He's like on top of the cub. The mama owlbear is definitely like more concerned with her baby at this point. It's not attacking the goblin, but it's definitely like pecking at its clothes, trying to get it like away. So it's like ripping the goblin's boots and hood, and the goblin is just screaming the entire time. The goblin was already scared that you were there. Now it's getting like mangled around by a mama owlbear. So you guys are in a position to run at the moment, but you weren't exactly able to look at the cart. Easy work. It is now your turn to decide what happens next. Are we continuing on with the delivery? Are we gonna let this poor goblin get eated? Roll for jelly beans on the cart. You got a 9. So you're not able to see a whole lot of anything. You see like a bunch of boxes still. The boxes you already saw last episode with a couple of bags poured over, but nothing with what appears to be jelly beans inside of it. Time to finish what we started. I'm a wizard, right? You are a novice wizard. You have very low level spells. There are sunflower seeds. We'll say that there might have been, you maybe recall seeing out of the corner of your eye some sunflower seeds that were scattered along the ground. Use illusion to turn the seeds into jelly beans. You are a bit away from these seeds. There's a tree between you, the tree that the goblin was hiding from, the owlbear at. So you do have a little bit of disadvantage here. So we'll say the first roll is 5. Yikes. You're kind of cooked. Orion's got a horrible luck in the dice rolls today. We could walk closer. Are you walking closer before you're doing this? Are you getting back into the danger zone? What does chat think? No? What are we doing, chat? I'm behind the bear. I just need jelly beans. Dude, you've got weird priorities this game. So the bear is definitely not focused on you. We'll say you're somewhere in the mix between these two, and you're looking for jelly beans. So we'll say you casted the spell a little bit closer this time. Okay, you got a 12. Say we conjure up some jelly beans since we're a wizard. Okay, so we'll say that you casted illusory or illusion on these sunflower seeds. So they're not jelly beans, but they look and taste like jelly beans at this point to you. But you're really eating sunflower seeds if that's what you chose to do. But you're able to cast illusion on them, and then they start kind of levitating a little bit, like shakily levitating. And then you're able to like kind of zoop one to your hand. So now you're holding it. Maybe like a handful of them like zoop to you. So we have a handful of jelly beans in our hands we conjured up from the ground from the fallen cart. We have advantage over the owlbear. Honestly, at this point, it's kind of playing and toying with the goblin, kind of flicking him about. So what are we doing with these jelly beans that we worked so hard to get and conjure up? Place the beans in the owlbear. Brother, what? All right, we're making you roll for that. What in the world are we doing, chat? Chat, is this even real? What are we doing? Of course. We're gonna eat them and be able to fly somewhere else. Okay, well, we did roll a 1 on the casting the jelly beans into owlbear. So let's say you critically failed on that. I wanted them to grow into a vine. Well, now we'll say that you missed the jelly beans in the old jelly beans in the trick. So you kept a couple, you ate. Let's say now, since we just critically failed, right? We rolled the 1, we critically failed. We're rolling, let's say we were rolling with disadvantage. She just got an 18. Let's say you were able to eat one. You have like an adverse effect to the flying mechanic that you were trying to get. You're flying away, but you're hitting like every branch on almost every tree in the path as you do it. You've hit like 3 different trees. Like you're definitely not in control, but you are moving generally in the direction that you would like to go. And the owlbear is seeing, it looks up from the goblin, right? It looks up from the goblin that it's been toying around with, and it sees you getting thrown into the woods by your own magical intentions and hitting all these trees, and it's kind of like curious, so it starts like walking towards you, but it's like definitely able to keep up. The goblin is very relieved, but you can see it dusting itself off in the background, torn clothes and everything. This owlbear's running, not like at full sprint in anger or aggression or anything, but it's definitely trying to keep up with you as you're half running, half like making contact with ground and hitting these trees along the path. I'm flying, no? Kind of. You're like hovering along the ground after that critical fail. Pacifica and Orion are like the devil and the angel on the shoulders. And every time the devil speaks up, it fails almost critically so. You cast the jelly beans into the and it didn't work. You missed the owlbear. Got its attention, but since Pacifica rolled high and you guys essentially spoke up at the same time, we'll say you did both the actions. Now you're kind of like hover flying along the ground, kind of half sprinting, half hover flying, and you're like not in control. You're hitting tree branches. Okay, then I'm gonna make a sharp turn and start attacking this bear owl. So you're gonna make a sharp turn around a tree and try to like loop around and catch this owlbear by surprise. You're rolling for this. Dude, another 18. I would like to continue flying. So you've rolled an 18. You've got good luck as you're rounding this tree. I'm currently manifesting and crying violently. In this split second that we've paused at, you're looping around this tree. The owlbear has lost sight of you. Are we still attacking it? Because there's a lot of different things you could do in this situation now that it's kind of lost sight of you. Pacifica did roll high. Do we let her have this one? And I'm using my wizard powers to fashion a wand out of a branch quickly. You guys both end up chatting at the same exact time every time. Cast create water in a massive square above it from my own tears. Since Pacifica rolled higher, we'll say we do her action first and then we do Orion's. That makes a little sense. Whoever rolls higher gets the move. Okay. So this is for Pacifica creating a wand out of a tree branch as she's looping around the tree. Oof, it wasn't a 20, it was a 2. Did not work out. She was able to grab a branch and it kind of like jolted her because she's moving and it didn't really break off, and now she's got splinters in the hand now. But in that same motion, you try to cast the square of water, and we'll see how that goes for you. So you're casting this water. Hey, not bad. 11. So you're able to cast this water, so you start seeing like kind of like a rain cloud form above it, and then that rain cloud turns into water and kind of spreads out above this owlbear as it's kind of looking around for you. It heard the branch kind of like move and snap a little bit, but not break off, so it knows generally where you're at around this tree. Then turn it into a massive brick of ice. Yeah, wet it so it can't fly. All right, so we'll see if you can turn it into ice and then drop it or do whatever you're trying to do with it. 15, hey, not bad. You've got this giant brick of ice. We'll say it's about the size of a twin bed, kind of hovering around this owlbear. Release all magic, let it crush it. All right, the luck is turning for Orion. We'll see how this goes. All right, so we're rolling for dropping all magic and letting it crush. 19! Look at that, dude. Not bad. So it kind of pins the owlbear down. It lands on the owlbear, and now the owlbear is kind of stuck underneath this giant chunk of ice that you just kind of conjured up. It's like struggling to get out. You can see like branches and dirt and clumps of leaves and stuff like flying around from all the wings flapping and stuff while it's kind of pinned on the ground. So now for the moment, it's incapacitated. Is that the right word that I'm looking for? Incapacitated? Get the jelly beans. Okay, so you're running back to the cart now because you've flown a little bit away from it, and you're getting the jelly beans. 10! Hey, not bad. So you're at the cart again. Cut off some of its feathers because we can use it for a potion. Okay. So we'll say before you ran to the cart, you tried to attempt to get some feathers from the owlbear. That is a 16. So you were able to pluck some feathers from the ground as to not get too close to the owlbear and possibly risk attack. So we'll say that you grabbed some of the feathers from the ground after it was flopping and flailing around. So now you have feathers, and you're currently getting actual jelly beans that you weren't able to see before. So they're real jelly beans. You're at the cart, and the goblin is still like kind of dusting itself off, trying to pick up the bits and pieces of its torn clothing, its satchels and its little pouches and tools and everything that was getting flown around and like flicked left and right while it was getting attacked by this owlbear. Steal the baby? You and this owlbear baby and the jelly beans, dude. So you're currently rolling to steal the baby owlbear. And you... I'm sad to give this to you. You got a 15 out of the tools and stuff in this cart. You're able to fashion kind of like a sling or whatever that thing's called that people hold their babies in. Whatever they used in The Hangover, like a baby carrier for this baby, you now have a full-fledged owlbear cub strapped to your chest. Feed it jelly beans till it thinks I'm mom. That's psychotic. What in the world? Okay, well, there's no role for that. We'll just say you did it. You're feeding it jelly beans that you found. We stole the baby to get the baby's feathers, too. And now our potion can be created, and the potion is to become an owlbear. So you have the baby owlbear. As you're feeding it jelly beans, you're painlessly kind of taking off the baby feathers to create this potion. We'll say it's an elixir that briefly turns the user into an owlbear human hybrid kind of deal. Unless you want to roll on the potion. Right now at the base level, we'll say that it's an owlbear hybrid person creature. You want to roll for the potion? So right now, it's a solid little potion that'll give you kind of what you want. Do you want to risk making it a flop in hopes to get this potion to work even better for you? No, we turn into one, not a hybrid. I'm up, I have the baby. You get to shapeshift into an owlbear for the duration of, we'll say a day. You get to be an owlbear. Do you want to change shape right now, or do you want to save this potion for later? Probably now, since we're in the middle of the godforsaken woods. So we'll say you drink this potion, and your feathers start growing, like, out of your skin. Like, your skin you start getting goosebumps a little bit, and, like, growing muscles at the same time. And little feathers start, like, poking out, like, pop, pop, pop. And you start, like, kind of werewolf-like turning into an owlbear. You feel your wings, like, sprout out from your arms. Jesus, that imagery is unsettling. You wanted to turn into an owlbear, dude. I don't know how else to tell it like it is. You know what I mean? This thing ain't no, like, walk in the park from a human's stature, right? So you start, like, your back starts, like, hunching over, like, involuntarily. Bones start cracking a little bit, and you start turning, like, you grow claws out of your hand, and your wings, like, kind of sprout up. Your wingspan sprouts up, and then, like, you turn around and do, like, a dramatic reveal, and you are now an owlbear. Ugly crying. So we'll say as all this is happening, you're screaming and crying in pain. You're now actively open mouth ugly sobbing. Eat the goblin? Our first order of business is to eat the goblin because that makes us a more powerful wizard. So at this point, the goblin has been hearing you scream and cry, has been hearing you scream and shout and let it all out in the middle of this forest by this cart. You see its jaw, like, drop on the floor, like the kid from Incredibles that watched him pick up the car. Now, this goblin is shaking in fear as you're, like, marching towards it one step at a time. Your eyes are reflecting the sun that's currently going down, just at the right height to reflect the sun in your eyes, and it's making your eyes kind of sheen and glow. And this goblin is tweaked at the sight of this. Are you just eating this goblin in one foul swoop? Are you doing anything else to it, or are you just going in for the full course meal? Nah, keep the ears. You guys are savages. They're worth money. We're swallowing it whole like owls do. We'll see what you got. 18. Oh my god. God, I don't even want to say this on stream. You walk up to this goblin, you pluck the ears off as it's like screaming in pain, and it's like trying to hold its head like that. You kind of throw him up into the air and open your gullet, and you're able to kind of like catch him in your mouth, and you kind of just stuff him down, and he's like screaming the whole time. But you have the ears in your hand, and then as we'll say, since he rolled so high, as you threw him up in the air, you saw a note fly out of one of his pouches. Feed the ears to the baby. You can fit on Papa too. So you've now become an owlbear and Papa, all in the same 10 minutes. But we aren't monsters because technically he'll be fine because we'll throw him up later in a pellet. Well, yeah, but you also just plucked his ears smooth off. But for now, we are more powerful, if you say so. What I'm worried about is how, because when it's time to drop this pellet, you better hope you're in a good area to do so. That's all I'm saying. What do I gotta roll for the baby to speak fluent Spanish? For the baby to speak fluent Spanish, let's say you have to roll a 17 or higher. 17 or higher, and the owlbear baby speaks very fluent Spanish. 16. Okay, so the baby doesn't speak fluent Spanish. But no, you rolled a 16, so the spell that you cast kind of just like shined like a weird aura around the owlbear, and it found it amusing, and it's kind of like laughing in a cooing sense. Oh, and advantage because you're Papa. So we'll make you roll twice, once with advantage. Oof. Okay, yeah, you got a 16. No advantage was had. Okay, now we're gonna fly away because we are owlbears. Let's say you're still, like, you're kind of like the Hulk at this point, right? Like, you've hulked out of your clothes, but for the most part, like, your clothes are still on your body. You still have, like, your pouch, and it's kind of, like, cinched around your waist with the package kind of attached and affixed to it. Now, just remember, a note did fly out of the goblin's equipment when you threw it up into the air and caught it. We gave that to you because you rolled so high. So we've eaten the goblin. We're gathering up all of our things that kind of hulked out off of us. We have the baby owlbear, and we see the note sitting on the floor after it, like, flew and floated through the air once we threw the goblin up and ate him. I think we should find out what the note says. So you go over to the note, and you kind of use your claws to gently pick up the note and spread it open. And you can see there's, like, very, very, like, almost scribble-like handwriting. It looks like a goblin wrote it. But this note says, I'm sending you to a caravan that's set to be coming through the forest. You must find the package at all costs. And on that note, we're going to end today's session, chat. Thank you so much, Pacifica and Orion Edits, for making this session a beautiful one. We added a little bit of decor to the D&D cam, so that's cool. It's looking a little more classy in here by the stream. Well, thank you so much, chat, for making this a very exciting episode of ZND or ZNDND. We're still workshopping the name. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this style of content, let me know down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, and consider following me on Twitch for your chance to be in the next episode. But until then, safe travels and happy adventuring.